But first up this evening, that big showdown in Parliament that ended just a few minutes ago over voter theft as Home Minister Amit Shah took to the floor of the House on electoral reforms debate at the Lok Sabha. He launched a scathing attack on the Congress, claiming that allegations of vote theft and electoral fraud were purely political allegations and one without any substantive evidence. He also accused the Congress and the opposition of protecting infiltrators, after which the opposition protested and walked out of the Lok Sabha. The Congress had countered the Home Minister vehemently, with Rahul Gandhi even challenging the Home Minister to a debate on facts over the voter theft allegations he has made. The Home Minister claimed that the allegations are being made by the Congress as a justification for its electoral defeats, and as has been the BJP strategy, hit out at Nehru and Indira Gandhi in his speech, declaring that voter theft happened even under their rule. Even hit out at Sonia Gandhi. Congress MP K.C. Venugopal had spoken earlier in the day demanding absolute transparency and investigations into the allegations, and declared that the right to vote is a fundamental pillar of the democracy and not one at the government's mercy. A sharp exchange there in Parliament, with the opposition taking the offensive to the government and the government hitting back. Let's listen in to that fierce exchange that played out this evening.
जो 3 प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में, एक सादा प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस, एक एटम बम वाला प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस, एक परमाणु बम वाला, ये तीनों में क्या हुआ, इसके सारे जवाब में मेरे पास है मान्यवर। अब ये कहते हैं कि दो जगह है, दो जगह मतदाता है। मान्यवर, किन लोगों के दो जगह मतदाता, मैं इसमें जिनके नाम 2 जगह रजिस्टर्ड है उसका दोष नहीं निकालता मैं, क्योंकि एक जगह से कोई व्यक्ति दूसरी जगह गई तो 2010 के बाद इसको डिलीट करने का अधिकार आरओ के पास से ले लिया गया। इसके कारण ये विसंगतियां खड़ी हुई। किसके हैं? श्री प्रशांत किशोर जी के 2 जगह मतदाता है, पवन खेरा जी का भी है, तेजस्वी यादव का स्वयं का है, टी सिद्दीकी एनआईसी केरल के नेता का है, मान्यवर संजय सिंह आप पार्टी के नेता के हैं, एक किशोरी पेडनेकर यूबीटी शिवसेना के हैं, इनका भी है। मान्यवर, सामान्य गलतियां हैं, क्योंकि एक नियम आ गया, जिसका जब वोट काटने का जिसका अधिकार है उसको रोक लिया गया, तो आरओ वोट काट नहीं सकता था, इसलिए 2 जगह रह गए। अब वो ही एक गहन पुनर्निरीक्षण से सुधरना है, मगर आप गहन पुनर्निरीक्षण को वोट चोरी कह रहे हो। मान्यवर, वोट चोरी किसको कहते हैं वो मैं बताना चाहता हूं, और हमारे यहां कुछ परिवार ऐसे हैं जो पूछते नहीं वोट चोरी करते।
अच्छा, बोलिए आप। हाँ, बोले आप, बोले। हाँ, बोले आप, बोले।
स्पीकर सर, मेरा कल एक सवाल था, जो हिंदुस्तान के इतिहास में पहली बार डिसीजन लिया गया कि इलेक्शन कमिश्नर्स को फुल, नहीं, फुल इम्यूनिटी दी जाएगी।
ठीक है, ये है ना, इसका जवाब
इसका पीछ में खत्म नहीं किया सर। इसके पीछे जो थिंकिंग थी वो हमें सबसे पहले बताएं।
ठीक है।
दूसरी बात, नहीं, हरियाणा की जहां इन्होंने बात की, इन्होंने एक उदाहरण लिया, वहां पर अनेक उदाहरण हैं।
वो भी आपने दिया था ना,
19
वो भी आपने दिया था, इसलिए दिया वो भी।
19 लाख वहां पे फेक लोग,
वो उदाहरण आपने दिया था, इसलिए उसका जवाब दिया।
और ये भी हमें बता दीजिए, एक्चुअली लेट अस हैव अ डिबेट ऑन माय प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस, लेट अस गो, let us have very good idea, let us have a debate on my press conference. Amit Shah ji, I challenge you to have a debate on the 3 press conferences.
Please.
ठीक है, बैठ जाए
मान्य, प्लीज मान्य, आपने बात की थी, प्लीज।
उत्तर प्रदेश में और हरियाणा में दोनों चुनाव में वोट कैसे
मानिए, प्लीज,
ये भी जवाब दे दीजिए।
मुझे लंबा अनुभव है संसदीय प्रणाली का। विपक्ष के नेता महोदय कहते हैं कि पहले मेरी बात का आप जवाब दीजिए, मैं सुनना चाहता हूं। आपकी मुंसफी से संसद नहीं चलेगी, मेरे यहां बोलने का क्रम मैं तय करूंगा, इस तरह से नहीं चलेगी संसद। मान्यवर इनकी एक एक बात का जवाब मैं दूंगा, मगर मेरे भाषण का क्रम वो तय नहीं कर सकते, मैं करूंगा क्योंकि मैं बोल रहा हूं।
आपने अगर अमित शाह जी का रिस्पांस देखा तो ये कंप्लीटली डिफेंसिव रिस्पांस है, ये घबराया हुआ रिस्पांस है, ये डरा हुआ रिस्पांस है।
अब सुनिए पूरी बात, प्लीज मानिए। नो,
सच्चा रिस्पांस नहीं है।
माननीय गृह मंत्री जी,
मान्यवर आपके चेहरे पर बैठो मान्यवर आपके चेहरे पर चिंता की लकीरें मैं देख रहा हूं कि मैं क्या बोलूंगा। मैं उनके उकसावे में नहीं आऊंगा, मैं मेरे विषय पर बोलूंगा। मान्यवर, मैंने इतना ही कहा कि मैं मेरे भाषण का क्रम मैं तय करूंगा। मेरे भाषण का पहले क्या बोलना, बाद में क्या बोलना, मैं तय करूंगा। और मैं मानता हूं कि हर एक वक्ता का ये अधिकार है, उनका भी है, मेरा भी है। कल वो बोल रहे तो हम ऐसा थोड़ी ना बोले आप झूठ क्यों बोल रहे हो, हम नहीं बोले, नहीं बोल सकते साहब। वो माननीय विपक्ष के नेता है, वो बोल सकते अपना भाषण मान्यवर। और मैंने तो ये भी कहा, मेरा पूरा भाषण छूट कर कुछ बच जाता है तो आप पूछिएगा, मैं जवाब दूंगा। मगर अब धैर्य भी चाहिए और सुनना भी चाहिए, दोनों चीजें करनी पड़ती है।
जो हमने पॉइंट्स रखे हैं उसका जवाब नहीं दिया, एक एग्जाम्पल लेकर बोल रहे हैं, तो इट इज अ कंप्लीटली डिफेंसिव रिस्पांस। आपने उनका चेहरा तो देखा होगा।
से वोट चोरी शुरू हो गई थी।
नहीं,
चुनाव आयोग की जो प्रक्रिया,
देखिए, मैंने दो तीन चीजें कही थी। मैंने कहा था ट्रांसपेरेंट वोटर लिस्ट सबको दीजिए, उसके बारे में एक शब्द नहीं बोला। मैंने कहा कि ईवीएम का आर्किटेक्चर सबको दे दीजिए, उसके बारे में एक शब्द नहीं कहा। मैंने कहा था कि बीजेपी के नेता हरियाणा में और बिहार में वोट दे रहे हैं, उसके बारे में नहीं कहा। मेरे प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंसेस में सॉलिड प्रूफ है, उसके बारे में कुछ बोला नहीं।
सीजीआई को लेकर,
सेम सीजीआई को लेकर इलेक्शन कमिश्नर को फुल इम्यूनिटी दी जा रही है, तो मतलब बिल्कुल
वॉकआउट क्यों करने की जरूरत पड़ी आप लोगों को? वॉकआउट से वो कह रहे हैं आप लोग डर गए।
नहीं, हम कहाँ डरे।
Well, that Parliament face-off sets the stage for our straight face-off this evening. The first one, Shazia Ilmi of the BJP joins us, Sujata Paul of the Congress, but also Aishwarya Jain, who's been tracking all the news in Parliament for NDTV. Aishwarya Jain, very briefly set this up for us. There seems to be more politics, more exchanges, but no substantive debate on core issues of electoral reforms, I mean.
Well, certainly it is leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi who stepped out of the parliament when the entire opposition walked out. Interestingly, at that point in time, Home Minister Amit Shah was speaking on a point that opposition parties want to save and why they are opposing it, because they want infiltrators to be in that voter list in the state of West Bengal. At that point in time, the entire opposition walked out, and after that Rahul Gandhi clearly stated that Amit Shah hasn't spoken on the categorical questions that the Congress party asked, and it was a defensive speech rather than replying on the point by point questions that he raised in his speech. But I think it's the most sharpest ever speech by Home Minister Amit Shah, giving point by point rebuttal to Congress leader Rahul Gandhi and whatever most of the leaders spoke in the 2 days debate that panned out. Also speaking on how Home Minister and Prime Minister hails from the ideology of RSS, and this is an ideology that is taking India forward. Also attacking the structure was something that also seen as far as the legal point of view is concerned. Amit Shah, not just twice, thrice, but multiple times stated that he has demanded all those questions and answers from the Election Commission of India before coming to the Parliament while preparing this speech. It was never the Congress party who had suggested any sort of reforms to the Election Commission of India in the past. The vote chori, again he remembered about the past, that the vote chori, real vote chori that had happened was in the Congress and UPA era, to which it was a massive, fireworks or the heated argument that
Right.
was witnessed between the treasury benches and the opposition.
That's right. Thanks for summing that up, Aishwarya Jain, in terms of what happened there in Parliament. Shazia Ilmi, the opposition's point is that while they had raised specific substantive points and allegations, the response to it from the Home Minister and the government was one filled with rhetoric and politics and attacks on the opposition, a defensive response, as Rahul Gandhi called it in Parliament, not one which was constructive in nature. Your first response.
On the contrary, I would say, because Rahul Gandhi made a lot of allegations, and in fact, our Home Minister retorted and answered with facts. They were all facts, and facts can't be disputed. So there was very little rhetoric. In fact, there was only rhetoric and speculation and allegation in Rahul Gandhi's charges. As far as Amit Shah ji is concerned, he said Rahul had no right to dictate the flow of his speech. And anyway, LOP would not decide the order or structure of what he's going to say. And even on the alleged 501 votes that Rahul Gandhi has been talking about, he clarified the context that the house number 265 was not a single family dwelling, but a number of people lived there. It was like some kind of an ancestral property. And also the whole thing that SIR was politically motivated. I mean, he talked about how many SIRs have been done by the Congress government and the parliament and whether it's EC, nobody shied away from any debate. But SIR constitutionally is mandated to be conducting this, and it falls under EC's domain. So obviously, immediate parliamentary oversight will not be appropriate, and there is separation of powers. And, you can't keep making up lies. There was a detailed discussion done in Supreme Court with all the petitioners.
Let me get Sujata Paul to respond to this, Shazia Ilmi. Sujata Paul, the same charge that the opposition is making on the government is making on the opposition, saying it's purely just political allegations, not one with a shred of evidence.
Clearly, the Home Minister was getting defensive because you saw how he reacted, and his manner showed that he thinks that attack is the best defense. Of course, the BJP is used to being treated the way he thinks he can treat the opposition. That's not going to happen. But let's come to facts. What are the facts that he was giving us? There are no answers on transparency, access to EVM architecture or the EVMs. Why? Because the EVMs were brought in by the Congress government, and because Rajiv Gandhi ji wanted them to come in, these are the arguments that he was giving. So clearly, he's trying to say that because these were brought during the Congress government's time, therefore now no access will be given, because at that time it was new. And there was obviously questions which were being raised, were being answered by the Election Commission, and it was Advani ji, it was GVL Rao, who had written a book about it also. But the fact is that he had no answers to transparency and also how the election commissioners are appointed, because he said we have given immunity to the election commissioners. He said it, right? So that clearly means that he is giving immunity to election commissioners for working for the BJP, for treating the BLOs and BLAs in the same breath, and that means the BJP BLAs are going to be the BLOs and vice versa.
As you're making that allegation, Sujata Paul, the question would also be raised, saying that after such an intense push for this debate, if the opposition is going to walk out of Parliament in protest, what good does it serve? Very briefly respond to that before I take your questions to Shazia Ilmi.
I want to understand, why is it that the BJP has no answers to the Ghuspetias who have entered the country during their tenure? Because these are the same people who elected the government at the center. Because there has been no census in 2021, so they have no data on anything. But they are allowing, all the agencies are under them, and they have allowed any infiltrators to come in. So don't blame the Congress party. And they have no answers to any of the duplication of voters, any of the mess in the voters list, which is not being corrected, and the EC is solely responsible.
Still doesn't answer my question on the walkout, but I'll go to Shazia Ilmi. Respond to what Sujata Paul is saying. The fact is that when there is a debate on vote theft and electoral reforms, what's the need to turn it into personal attack on the Nehru-Gandhi family and the past instead of keeping it focused on the issues? The Congress says that
But
is
you know,
purely because of the rhetoric that the BJP spreads. Go ahead.
Yes, but you must realize this, that all of past electoral roll revisions, which would be 1952 to 2004, all happened under governments that included those who are opposing SIR. And that would be the Congress government. There is a whole 1995 Supreme Court judgment, which was talked about, Lal Babu Hussain versus Electoral Registration Officer, which permitted removal of non-citizens and illegal entries. Then SIR, as we know, is a constitutional exercise done by Election Commission of India. It is not under direct control. You know, they keep making up these stories because they keep losing. And there is this palpable fear that they have that if illegal migrants are thrown out, then nobody will be voting for them. So I don't understand. And the very point that Sujata ji made about the voters, about the Bangladeshis not having been thrown out by this government. I mean, you should support SIR if you think that the adequate number of Bangladeshis have not been deported, illegal citizens have not been deported. All the more reason you should support SIR.
So Sujata Paul, very quick
response.
response.
Argument against yourself. And
means that the BJP spokesperson is admitting that they allowed the Bangladeshi immigrants to vote for them in the 2024 elections.
You know, if you,
right?
you know, spiders get caught in their own web.
What he's saying is all the SIRs took place during Congress time. So there were censuses happening. Why is it that there has been no census? That means you have no data of how many people are in the country.
2021 was a COVID year.
You are ensuring
no. Let me tell you.
You carry out
2021 was a COVID year.
in the garb of an
2021 was a COVID year, and that's why it was delayed.
No, but I want to ask both of you this question. Sujata Paul, let's not talk over each other. And Shazia as well. Just pause for a moment. I just want to ask what the outcome of the debate in Parliament has been in terms of electoral reforms. Now, this is an issue, as the opposition has raised and pointed out, an extraordinarily important one for the democracy. The government has taken a position on it. There was a debate in Parliament. It's led to a fierce face-off. What's the big takeaway over this debate, from this debate? First, Sujata Paul, 30 seconds.
Clearly, that we have used the Parliament to put forward all the problems that we see in the SIR, we see in the way the election commissioners are chosen. We demanded that there was transparency in the system, because if you are really patriotic, then you will want your systems to be better and you would not expect any wrong vote to be cast. So clearly there, the answer to infiltrators is also answered. Having said that, the BJP blames the Congress party for the infiltrators having been in power and been in power for almost 12 years, this being their third tenure. So this means that we have brought to the fore what people wanted to know, and we have also shown them what the BJP is all about. They are not giving answers.
Last word to you, last minute.
I think Congress has been exposed once and for all their insistence on having this debate initiated by their own MP Manish Tiwari. They decided to run away because they knew they'll be caught, and they were caught and called out. And Amit Shah ji clarified the Election Commission of India does not work under central government. And he explained also the issues of the SIR. Okay. And electoral rolls cannot be discussed in Parliament.
Why no transparency?
Questions are
why no
asked
action to the
Election Commission
or the architecture of the EVM?
No, there is a
why we defend
there
that?
is clearly no end to this debate.
The system is yours. The government is yours.
Each one has a point to make. But thanks very much, Shazia, Ilmi and Sujata Paul. I'm sorry I'm interrupting you. I hate to do this, but I'm completely out of time. Thanks to the two of you for joining us here. But